And so getting back to the product development side of things,
Mhm.
is it possible to give the viewers a bit of a sneak peek about anything that we might be working on in this current sprint?
Sure. I want to share two
Oh yeah,
product I'm working on now.
let me allow the share screen for you. Thanks. Okay, so what do we have here?
Okay. I think the one I want to show you it's called adjustable tire bracket. So that's you can adjust the height to fit for the different height of the house, also with different height of the buildings. Also, you can make the landscape and the portrait with solar panels. That's we call it the adjustable tire bracket. This should be the number one. I think the stakeholders would on the list.
So this was the number one item that was
That's right.
that everyone wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I can understand why. You know, it's quite often you know, if you're on the roof and you need a little bit more length at the base where the screws are. You know, sometimes you need to use packers. This should help with the majority of those cases.
Really. Yeah.
And also, and I think there's two versions of this that we're working on. One with a longer arm as well.
Yeah. Yes, we have two versions. The long version is around 180 millimeter long, the horizontal arm. Now the shorter version will be around 120 millimeter long, the horizontal arm. Will be fitted for different tiles.
Okay.
Perfectly. Mm-hmm.
And then on the top there, you can swivel the top piece so it can be landscape or portrait.
That's right.
That's cool. I like it. You could even run the rails diagonally across the roof, I suppose, if you really wanted to.
You can.
So this is a really good example, right? Where it was raised as something that one of the retailers / installers wanted. It was raised actually by a few people, and had been worked on a little bit prior to this latest sprint. But you know, there was some challenges too. What are some of the challenges that you faced with developing this product, for example?
I think the most challenging is from the requirement to the design. So basically, normally we get the requirement from customers is a general requirement. So how to understand and translate that general requirement into the final design.
So you mean they'll come to us and they'll say, "This is the problem I've got. Can you come up with a solution for that?"
That's right. There's something like that. Something, yes. So in the beginning, you probably had like a different concept design. So you have to pick up which is probably better one. Then get the feedback from customers. Probably needed the prototypes and send it to the customer that let them do test it on site. It's also the time consuming process. So once the time becomes longer, it becomes like challenging. So you want to make the product ready in short time. So yeah.
And then also you've got engineering challenges too, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes. So develop this one, if you make the arm very long. So basically the per out value for this bracket will become the kind of the weak compared to the standard bracket. So we have the longer one, probably the capacity dropped like 50% of the
right.
Yeah. So
okay, so that's interesting. So just extending that arm and that was really, I think, because there was some of these like Boral shingle tile roofs that were coming up where the tile is a fair bit longer.
Yeah.
And so hence that was the reason to have two products, right? So we could have one.
That's right.
Originally this was supposed to be one product.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you're saying that making that arm a little bit longer. Can you just point your arrow to which arm we're talking about? The which part of the?
So this is the horizontal arm
mm-hmm.
from this point to this band.
Yeah. And so are we looking at the extended version in this image? This is the longer one?
This is the longer one. The shorter one will be one third shorter than this one.
Probably what is that, like 30 millimeters shorter or something? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and so it's not a lot, is it? Really, 30 millimeters, and that has an effect of reducing the spacings by what, 50% under
50%. That's right.
testing.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's huge, really. And
Hmm.
this was something that's come up before, because I know there are other products on the market that do have these longer tile feet that are currently being used for installations in Australia as the current solution in the market for these Boral or other brand shingle tiles. That's definitely something for the cutters to keep in mind. If and so tell us about the testing. How do we test these products before we figure out what the maximum spacings can be?
There's normally two steps to test. So once we got a design, we needed to test the prototype. So figure out what's the estimated the pull-out value for this tile bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just similar to the actual installations. So we put the screws on the timber rafter, and then we just pull up this bracket to the failure mode.
Okay. Have you got anything you can show us, like images of what that test looked like, or anything we can pull up?
Yeah, sure. So you can see my screen.
Yep.
Basically, we set up with this tile bracket. We put the two screws. It's like similar as the actual installation. Just using the rig to pull up this tile bracket. You can see after that, it's really the bandit becomes the failure mode. Then we record the profile from the 0 to the largest displacement. Then we can find these other the values. That's
Okay.
what we use to certify this bracket, like how much spacing should be.
Okay, great. And so based off that information, then that goes back. Where do you send that information then? So how do we turn that information into?
So we have the structure engineering the team. So we send this the test report to our structure engineer. They are working on the generic certificate to certify the bracket. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. And so that was one of the challenges, I suppose. Besides this product in general, what are some of the other challenges that come up? Like I know recently we were developing another product. It was a brand new type of product, and so that we were sourcing, I guess, materials or parts that we haven't really had to source in that way before, and we had some minimum order quantity issues. So I guess that, is there any other types of challenges that come up?
Yeah, I think you mentioned the minimum quantity MOQ. So that's the challenge that we're facing sometimes. I can give you an example like the Easy Shade. That's the product we are selling in Australia. So we using the standard kits as the setting the product, but probably like the reason we're using the kits, the first reason is because it's just handy for customer to pick up the kits to fit all the requirement. I think the second reason also the challenging is they always have the MOQ. So it's talking about the 50 kilowatt MOQ. But normally the kit will be just 5 kilo or the 10 kilo the size.
Okay, so and I guess that's challenging because the Easy Shade is a new product, and it's more designed for small scale commercial and residential systems.
That's right.
And a lot of times to get your toe in the water, you really want to trial it with a 1 or 2 car shade or space, and so but then from our end, it's it's difficult to manage the inventory management side because it means that we have to order a larger amount, even though we might only have a request for 1/10 of that or so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks for that, Steve.